You remember a couple of months ago when I met you and asked you to ride the buses with me so we could improve the service routes? We do have to improve the routes. I have spoken to many of our citizens who rely on our public transportation, and they tell me that the, quote, improvements have been actually just the opposite. So we do need to work on that, Ricky, and I thank you for the question. So far as expanding public transportation, we find ourselves in the crosshairs of an economic dilemma. And I don't see that any of that type of expansion is going to happen in the immediate future. But certainly long range, expanding public transportation, rail, better bus routes, more efficient routes, energy efficient routes, electric vehicles, all of that has a place in our community. Absolutely. Thank you. That the commissioners chose to allocate $4.2 million of our tax dollars to the Titan Cement facility. We know that that cement manufacturing facility will emit CO2 emissions, mercury, arsenic. I think it was wrong economically. I think it was wrong environmentally. And I think that I'll go a step further to say, in order to protect our eco-sensitive regions, we must consider rezoning these type of areas so that we don't recreate this anomaly. It was a disaster, and it won't happen again if I have anything to say about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cement out of our community, and what will you do to bring green jobs into the community?
Well, it's being done for us. EPA is about to designate New Hanover County as a non-attainment status for sulfur dioxide. If Titan stays in the CEPA review process, which I strongly support, and give kudos to Representative Justice for working on that, then they will not have their air quality permit by the time the non-attainment status happens. That will put them in a new source review position, and that's pretty much a deal killer for anything that they do. And knowing that we have that designation is going to change the way we recruit business. It's been decided for us by EPA.
Cape Fear River is a lifeline and has been to Wilmington for hundreds of years. Protecting it is a difficult problem. People go up and down our shorelines and dump numerous things. In it, we've caught industry dumping chemicals and a lot of waste from boat traffic, many things. The county has 2 full-time law enforcement officers, deputies, that do nothing but environmental protection. And that probably could be increased. But it's going to take all the citizens participating in helping take care of that great resource that we have.
That is a great question, and for the last several years I've been advocating a complete review and overhaul of the entire economic development system here in New Hanover County. The current system of giving your tax dollars to private organizations like the Committee of 100 is broken, it's outdated, it's flawed, and it's underperforming, and the decision negotiated behind closed doors to give $4.2 million to Titan Cement for perhaps 40 jobs for locals is a clear illustration of why we need to completely overhaul this economic development system. We need jobs here badly, and we cannot continue on this underperforming system. So we need to change the model, and we need to develop a system that works far better and takes into account the importance of the environment. Thank you.
Thank you.
A question in part for the Coastal Resources Commission, but I was co-chairman of the Legislative Commission that looked at all offshore energy issues. To put it briefly, we came to the conclusion that oil drilling would be very dangerous for the coast of North Carolina, that wind energy offers a much greater prospect, and the wind resources off Cape Hatteras and the wind resources off the Cape Fear region are the greatest in the state and some of the greatest in the country. So I would favor green energy, and that's one of those areas where I think we can develop jobs here in this area, is through green energy, and wind power is simply one of those.